Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to talk to you about a article which is from the website psychologytoday.com, and the title of it is COVID-19, a new normal for those on the autistic spectrum. For autistic people, the pandemic is taking a toll. And the author of this article is Dr. Stephen M. Shaw, ED, and he's a clinical assistant at the College of Education and Health Science at Adelphi University. So welcome back to my channel, everybody. I hope everybody is well. The UK is in a mini heat wave this weekend. It's really hot, so I've just taken a break from the sunshine to come up here and do this video for you. So yeah, it starts by saying no one is immune to this disruption that the pandemic is forcing on the people, but for those on the autistic spectrum, the loss of our regular routine, my routine, can be damaging, and the anxiety is very difficult to deal with. That's true. I will agree with that beginning bit. I think it is very distracting. It's very upsetting for people on the spectrum to lose our routines, but again, we can deal with it. And so next point is they're saying it is very important that individuals on the spectrum like myself and families try and maintain our established routines. Let me stop there for one. Routines, yes, it's important to try and keep it up to date as humanly possible, but the problem is not being able to focus on our routines does cause problems, and you have to be careful because not everyone on the spectrum like myself are able to carry out our routines right now. We're not able to give attention to our routines because we are in different places, or we're having to constantly worry about what's happening, how we're going to cope and stuff like that. So again, you have to be very careful with saying things like that, because we're not all able to stick to our daily routines to 100% of the time. And also you have to remember the people who are non-verbal autistic, who are going to really be struggling because they're not able to verbally communicate like I can, their struggles and their barriers. So again, you have to remember we are all on different levels of the spectrum, so therefore we all have different needs, wants, abilities, focuses and attention spans. So, but yes, the next spot they're saying is it's very important that you keep interaction going between the autistic person and family. I couldn't agree more, but the problem is, again, you're going to have people who are non-verbal on the spectrum. You're going to have people like me who are high verbal, who can communicate for myself and other people, but the problem is this is all from my own perspective, and having trouble with communicating is part of being on the spectrum. And again, this is saying that communicating online will help us. That's true, but again, not all of us are non-verbal, not all of us will be able to communicate, and plus the anxiety is going to cause a lot of effort for us to socially communicate. And yeah, it's a time right now where our anxiety is going to be heightened all the time. It's going to be a time where we're constantly doubting and worrying and not sure what to expect with the updates and things. So we are very on edge as a result. So communicating online does relieve that pressure to some degree, but again, it is about making sure we have that family support and support network around us at all times to keep us going. So I agree but disagree with that as well, because you need to take into account the non-verbal people who use Makaton or sign language as a way of communicating their needs and their boundaries, and for those who are non-verbal or choose not to speak. So you have to take that into account as well. Social distancing for a lot of for a lot of those on the autistic spectrum is a welcome relief. Again, I disagree, because social distancing for some of us is not a good idea, because it socially isolates us even more than what we are socially isolated previously. For me, being socially isolated is absolute awful. I hate it. And the fact that I am lucky enough to be able to come to my dad's house and stay with him and be self-isolated, but the problem is for a lot of people on the spectrum, they are on their own, they are lonely, they are worried, they are anxious, they are panicking, they don't know what to expect or what to say in case they get told off for saying something inappropriate. But the problem is social distancing can work for some of us, because some of us do love to be on our own, and we do need that alone time to recharge our social energy and our social batteries, because being around people all the time, we're socially communicating, we're using up all our social skills, our social time, and then we just need to crash and be alone to recharge. Which I get that, that's fine. I do that sometimes. I come away from busy environments and recharge myself to come back again to the next conversation. That's fine. But again, we don't all have that area. We don't all have that boundary to walk away and stop ourselves from becoming overstimulated. So that's a problem. But some of us do love to be away from people, yes, and need that time to be on our own. So, yeah, and they also saying that we were well equipped for this pandemic. Wrong. We weren't well equipped. This is the problem. We've only been dealing with this for 4 weeks, and for people on the spectrum having not enough time to plan what's going to happen, where we're going to go to stay in case we need to be with family, what are we going to do to be able to cope, to make sure we have enough food and drink, and make sure that we have our routine to things like watching TV or going on online social media. But again, that can cause a lot of problems, because again, we're not well equipped to deal with this. We've only just had the last 3 weeks to adjust to being on lockdown in the UK. So for us, it's a lot of change, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of lack of planning. We're having to rely on people to help us out, so whether that's family, support workers, social workers, college educators, teachers from school. It's a really unsettling time of what's going to happen, and the fact that we're having to do everything by ourselves. So again, that does lead to a lot of communication issues. Also, I do not agree with this title of this article either. I don't agree with it being called the new normal. This isn't the new normal, and it won't be the new normal. Normal is a stereotypical label. I think it's highly dangerous to say that this is the new normal for autistic people. It's not, and you are going to worry a lot of autistic people by saying this, because it's a fact of that this is not normal. This is just a temporary long-haul measure. This is something that the government are doing to protect us from potentially getting this virus or coming into contact with anyone who does have it. And therefore, it's not a new normal, so be very careful when you throw statements and names out like that, because you are going to put people more on edge on the spectrum. You are going to socially isolate us even more than what we already have been in the past. So, yeah, I hope you liked my review of that article. Please give it a thumbs up. Please like, share, comment and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.